Thanks for joining us for the Monster Hunter World Iceborne Spring Update. I'm Ryozo Tsujimoto from Capcom. Last year in December, we announced Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and today we can finally reveal the release date. Monster Hunter World Iceborne will be coming to home consoles worldwide on September 6, 2019. We just showed you all new promo footage of the game. And I have several members of the dev team here with me to provide more details. Let's do a quick round of introductions.
Hello everyone, my name is Kaname Fujioka, Executive Director and Art Director on Monster Hunter World and Iceborne.
I'm Yuya Tokuda, Director on Monster Hunter World. I lead the development of World and all of its updates. Today I'm here to tell you about some of the things we still have in store for Monster Hunter World.
Taking over from Director Tokuda, I'm Daisuke Ichihara, Director of Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Today, I'm here to tell you more about this new expansion.
Thanks for joining me today, everyone. To clarify a bit, the development of Monster Hunter World Iceborne ran parallel to the production of the title updates on Monster Hunter World. So Tokuda was the director on the updates after the release of the main game, while at the same time Ichihara led the direction for Iceborne. So without further ado, let's talk about the game. First, we'll have another look at the latest promo video we released. Enjoy!
Hey, do you hear that? Is it the wind? No, that's not it. Is that singing?
Unidentified tracks are cropping up all over the New World.
It's having an incredible effect on other life in the New World.
These spikes, are they from... What is that?
Everyone thought it was just a mere myth. But there it is. Velkhana.
That was the latest promotional trailer for Iceborne. I'm sure everyone has lots of questions, so let's go through all the new information bit by bit. I'll be guiding you through this together with Fujioka and Ichihara.
We're ready.
Let's look at the basics first. Monster Hunter World Iceborne is a massive expansion DLC for Monster Hunter World. If you already own Monster Hunter World, you'll only have to purchase the expansion DLC to upgrade the main game. If you want to play Monster Hunter World Iceborne, you'll need to own the main game. Monster Hunter World Iceborne features a completely new story. This story takes place after the ending of the main game of Monster Hunter World, but you'll have to see for yourself what it's all about. We've also got a new rank called Master Rank. Monster Hunter World had low and high ranks, and Master Rank is one step above high rank. It's like the G rank from previous games. Now let's get into the really juicy details of the game. I'll let Fujioka and Ichihara take things from here to give us the details on the game.
Thank you.
We'll start by introducing the main new hunting locale in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Fujioka, please guide us through this new locale.
This new locale is a snowy polar stage, which is something a lot of fans actually asked for. It's called the Hoarfrost Reach. We prepared some footage of it so you can see what it looks like in real time. The biggest characteristics of this area are obviously the snow, as well as the extreme cold. Visually, it's very different from the areas in the main game, and things such as snow effects and other visual elements of the stage have had a lot of particular care put into them. So we hope you pay attention to all the details.
I like how the player actually leaves a trail behind them.
Exactly. That's something we've never really been able to do before, so we made a point of making it look as good as we can. If you're familiar with Monster Hunter, you'll know that cold areas will make your stamina gauge decrease quicker, which is obviously not ideal. But you can gather a special plant like this. That's a hot pepper, which you can use to create hot drinks. These drinks will stave off effects from the cold. Monster Hunter veterans will be familiar with this. So, let's look at the starting area for a bit. It's fairly forest-like, with lots of trees. It has some familiar creatures, like Popo. It's like meeting an old friend again. In previous titles, they were always getting attacked by various other monsters. Popo, that is. So you'll see herds of them here as well as various endemic life. In an actual polar region, you may not expect to find this many kinds of wildlife, but we've created many rich, unique creatures for this area. For instance, there's stonebills, a type of bird, and these little bugs that make snowballs, kind of like dung beetles. They're called rime beetles, and they roll up balls of snow. You see us kicking it here. And these rolled up snowballs contain crystal burst, and you can use this crystal burst as slinger ammo. Of course, this locale has its own wing drakes too, called Cortos. If you're familiar with Monster Hunter World, you'll know that you can use them to move from area to area. So, we hope players can continue to use them to make it easier to get around in these big locales.
Oh, that looks nice and warm.
Yeah. We figured that in a cold area like this, you'll want to be able to warm yourself up somehow. So, we added these natural hot springs. Hot springs have the same effect as hot drinks, in that they contain components that fight off the cold, so they're good for preventing cold-related ailments. And in these hot springs, you're going to find monkeys.
I think they'll be popular with the fans.
So you can enjoy a relaxing time with the local endemic life. So, this new locale, the Hoarfrost Reach, is a newly discovered region. So, you're going to have to explore it. And you'll open up new parts of the map as the story of Iceborne progresses. In the beginning, there'll be some areas you can't reach. But once you get to the midpoint of the story, it'll open up. And in the end, it'll be the largest region in Monster Hunter World so far. So, there'll be plenty to explore and play around with.
Next up, let's take a look at the new monsters that will be appearing in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. What shall we start off with?
First, let's look at one brand new monster appearing in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Let's talk about Bambaro.
Bambaro makes his debut in Monster Hunter World Iceborne in the early parts of the game, and is a new brute wyvern.
That's right. He's an early game monster, so his attacks are fairly straightforward. But he likes to pick fights with other monsters as well, which should lead to some interesting situations. We've prepared some footage of him, so as we watch him in action, I'd like to go into some more detail.
Sure. As you can probably tell from the footage, his defining characteristics are the huge horns on his head. He'll use them to charge at your hunter, so most of his attacks are on a straight line.
That's right. But he'll pick up whatever's in his path. So, depending on where you're fighting, he may hurl boulders at you in rocky areas, or if you're in a foresty area, he may pick up entire trees while charging at you.
I see, so if he picks up a tree, that'll increase the width of his attacks, so he's going to be harder to dodge and pose more of a threat.
Yes. So even if he uses the same charge attack, the reach of his attacks will differ depending on what he picks up along the way. So, you're going to have to pay attention to your surroundings while fighting him.
You know, I'm also curious about the ecology of this new monster. What can you tell us about its habits?
Well, this monster mostly eats plants, so it's not really carnivorous or anything. And it usually lives a fairly peaceful life. Sometimes it'll drink from hot springs like the one we showed before. So it'll calmly roam around for a drink, and you can also see it do things like sunbathing. Just like with other monsters in the main game, we've gone to some trouble to create all kinds of behavior other than attacks. So we hope you keep an eye out and enjoy those details too. Let's have a look at another new monster. This one's called Beotodus.
Beotodus is really the first large monster you'll get to fight in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, once you arrive in the Hoarfrost Reach.
You'll start out in an area with fairly deep snow, and this monster likes to bury deep into the snow, hiding and waiting for a chance to corner its prey. That's the kind of monster we wanted to have, so we really wanted to recreate a deep snow effect for this game. This monster will move around with half of its body buried in the snow, like the players themselves.
It'll attack you while submerged in the snow. So you'll have to figure out how to get this monster out of the snow in order to really master this hunt.
That's right. As we explained just a bit ago, Bambaro also appears early on in this game. Their ecological territories are very similar, so their turfs overlap quite a bit, which means you'll be seeing them fight. A lot. So I think players are really going to enjoy encountering this on their own.
So you'll meet these monsters soon after starting Master Rank?
Right. Beotodus, for instance, is a carnivore. So the Popo you saw before is one of the prey it'll go after. Of course, we've made sure to properly show predatory scenes like that in the game as well. So we hope you'll look out for things like that and enjoy it.
Next, we'd like to talk about a very popular monster from the series.
For Monster Hunter World Iceborne, we also wanted to bring back some fan favorites, including one that made its first appearance in Freedom Unite. So, I'd like to take a look at that monster now, Nargacuga.
Nargacuga will appear around the halfway point of the story, and it's got its own proper position within this world. As usual, he's no pushover, so look forward to a challenging hunt.
Right. Nargacuga's defining characteristics are its swift attacks and its sort of wily, shrewd way of fighting. And of course, all those characteristics remain intact here. But, of course, it'll also have some new tricks up its sleeve for Monster Hunter World. So, look forward to that.
Yeah, we've made sure to bring back all of the moves you know and love.
But, since this is Monster Hunter World, we've also given it a more world-like flavor. So I'm sure everyone will enjoy how it's changed for this title.
I see, and because Nargacuga is now part of this new world, that means it'll be getting involved in turf wars as well.
Exactly. That's actually one of the points in Monster Hunter World that we've put a particular focus on. And we've made sure there are plenty of new turf wars here. You can actually see a little bit right there in the video. Nargacuga will fight with Rathalos, for example.
The fans will love that, I'm sure.
And you'll get to see it up close. It's a very in-your-face fight. So that's something we hope you look forward to.
Next up, we have one final monster we're going to show you today. This is the new flagship monster for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now let's take a closer look.
Every time we release a new game in the Monster Hunter series, we always have a new flagship monster, just for that title. And since this is an expansion for Monster Hunter World, and Monster Hunter World is all about investigating and searching out elder dragons, the main monster in Iceborne is a new type of elder dragon. This new monster is defined by its use of ice attacks and is named Velkhana. And since it's an elder dragon, it doesn't just use straightforward ice attacks, but there's a bit of a twist to its behavior to show that you're fighting this mysterious, ancient creature. So we're sure players will find it interesting.
We're keeping this to a very basic introduction today, but we'll be telling you more about this monster in the future, so please stay tuned. Next, Ichihara will tell us a bit about the new Hunter actions added for Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
In Monster Hunter World Iceborne, we've expanded the Hunter's moveset quite a bit, so I wanted to give everyone a peek into what we have in store. First off, Monster Hunter World introduced the Slinger, which, for most weapons, could only be used while your weapon is sheathed. But in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, you'll be able to use your Slinger with your weapon drawn for all weapon types.
You'll be able to ready your Slinger and use a variety of items with your weapon drawn. So, this will significantly increase the strategies available to you.
You can now fire flash pods with your weapon drawn, for instance. We've also added a new feature to the Slinger, called the Clutch Claw. This allows you to fire a claw while readying the Slinger. which lets you grapple onto monsters.
Controlling monsters in a variety of ways was a central theme of Monster Hunter World, around which we designed a lot of hunter actions. The Clutch Claw is basically an extension of that, in that it allows you to control monsters directly.
When you're clinging onto a monster, there are several actions available to you. What we're showing here now is called a flinch shot, which lets you unload all of your slinger ammo at once, while clinging onto the monster's head, in order to send it barreling in the direction it's facing.
Yeah, you can use this to send monsters towards traps, slam them into walls, or otherwise create opportunities for attack.
We've added new combos and new elements for all weapon types. For instance, with the Great Sword, you can now fire more powerful slinger shots during combos. This is called a power shot, and though it has shorter range, it's also much more powerful, allowing you to make monsters flinch more easily. So in the case of the Great Sword, you can mix this into your combo, making it easier to land a charged attack.
By making the monster flinch before your charged attack, you can then land the attack just by comboing the actions.
As another example, using the dual blades, you can fire more powerful shots while evading. And the dual blades even allow you to do other actions, like using the Clutch Claw directly in its new combos.
Right. You can go from attacking to clinging onto the monster's body within the same combo.
We've added new features to the light bowgun as well. And there are some new custom mods too. The mod we're showing today lets you reload ammo while evading. This custom mod is designed for reloading. If you perform 2 evading actions in a row, the second move will be a slide. And this mod lets you reload while doing this sliding evade.
There's this move where you kind of turn the bowgun around a bit, and basically it allows you to reload 1 round of ammo.
That's right, and if you equip multiple mods, you'll be able to reload more rounds in 1 turn. We've only touched on a few of the weapons here, but we'll have another video on all of the other new weapon features at a later date, so please look forward to that.
So today we looked a bit at the new locale, some new monsters, and some new actions. But of course we'll share more as we approach release, so please stay tuned for more updates. Now, leading up to the worldwide release on September 6, 2019, let's have a look at the product lineup for the home console versions of Monster Hunter World Iceborne. First of all, if you already own the physical version or the digital version of Monster Hunter World, and you only want to buy the massive expansion DLC Monster Hunter World Iceborne, you only have to buy the digital version of Monster Hunter World Iceborne. We've also prepared a pack called Monster Hunter World Iceborne Digital Deluxe that contains both the expansion DLC and a collection of stickers, gestures, and layered armor. The DLC collection of stickers, gestures, and layered armor will also be made available as a separate package called the Monster Hunter World Iceborne Deluxe Kit. If you're someone who's been waiting for Iceborne before getting into Monster Hunter World, we have the Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition for you. This contains both the main game of Monster Hunter World and the Iceborne Massive Expansion DLC. This edition will be available as a physical version. We've also prepared the fan-favorite Yukumo series of equipment, which will be available as a layered armor set. In Japan and other Asian countries, we're also releasing a limited edition that comes with a figurine, product code for a set that includes Monster Hunter World Iceborne and the Deluxe Kit, monster figurine, art book, special soundtrack CD, and silver metal plate. These are all included in the limited edition called the Monster Hunter World Iceborne Collector's Package. There will also be a figurine included limited edition that includes a physical copy of the Master Edition, called the Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition Collector's Package. The Steam version of Monster Hunter World was released half a year after the console versions. But for the Steam version of Iceborne, we're planning a winter release. We're working hard on it, so stay tuned. Pre-orders for Monster Hunter World Iceborne will start becoming available from today. Don't miss out! Now, Tokuda will take over from here and share the latest information on what's coming up in Monster Hunter World.
Thank you. The main monster of Monster Hunter World, Nergigante, will finally appear in its arc-tempered form. This quest will be available for a limited time only, starting on Saturday, May 11th, 2019.
Now that we know when the main monster of Monster Hunter World, Nergigante, will finally appear in its arc-tempered form, let's have Tokuda tell us a little bit about what to expect from this monster.
Arc-tempered Nergigante will have some new swift attacks that may suddenly follow its normal patterns. We've also given it some new movement routes and also prepared some rather unique tricks here and there. As a result, we hope you think back to the beta test or the main game of Monster Hunter World and relive the thrill of facing off against Nergigante for the first time, as we've prepared a very challenging monster for you. Using its materials, you'll be able to craft their Nergigante Gamma Armor, which is a very powerful armor set. So we hope you enjoy this new content together with the second Spring Blossom Fest. We are also pleased to announce the release of the Nergigante Dynamic theme for PlayStation 4. Nergigante is one of the more aggressive, rampaging monsters, so you may not have had a chance to get a good, quiet look at it. But his theme allows you to appreciate its design. The system icons are also a bit special, in that they look like Nergigante tore into them. It uses Monster Hunter World's main theme, Stars at Our Backs, as background music. So we think this is something really special that everyone needs to check out.
This theme will be available for purchase today. This is all the news we have to share for Monster Hunter World. Now to the many people out there who have played and enjoyed Monster Hunter World, our director Tokuda would like to give you a very special message.
Since the release of Monster Hunter World, the number of people who played our game has greatly exceeded our expectations, and we are very grateful for that. We've brought you updates, many of them free, and some of which were made while development on Iceborne was already underway. So we've had some challenges now and again, but sharing in the joy of playing the game with people around the world has been our inspiration and has helped us overcome those challenges. There were things we couldn't quite pull off, or things we wanted to do more of, but we've passed on everything we learned to the Iceborne team, and we'll use our experiences to improve how we make our games. So we look forward to your continued support.
To close out our program, we hope you continue to enjoy Monster Hunter World. Once again, the home console versions of Monster Hunter World Iceborne will be released worldwide on September 6, 2019. We'll have new information for you at E3 in June, and we'll keep on bringing you updates after that as well, so stay tuned. We leave you with the usual final words.
Happy hunting!
Hey, do you hear that? Is it the wind? No, that's not it. Is that singing?
Unidentified tracks are cropping up all over the New World.
It's having an incredible effect on other life in the New World.
These spikes, are they from... singing? What is that?
Everyone thought it was just a mere myth. But there it is. Velkhana.